I don't care if you believe me or not, was the serious, straightforward introduction I was given to a possible Dogman sighting in the autumn of 2013. It was at this point that my longtime friend Andrew told me of not just one encounter, but two separate encounters with more than one strange bipedal creature out hunting game near Norton, Ohio. Andrew normally works night shifts, which means traveling quiet, darkened roads is an everyday occurrence for him. One cold autumn night in particular, while traveling down Johnson Road, bordering Silver Creek Metro Park, what he saw was anything but routine. Approximately 50 yards from the intersection with Medden Lane Road, he stopped his car when two deer raced across the road heading south. But what caught his attention was what they were running from. I would place them somewhere between 6.5 to 7 feet tall. They chased two deer, which were both smaller, by the way, out across the street and into the woods. They ran in formation, one in front, two behind, kind of next to each other. They were roughly 30 to 40 yards behind the deer. They were bipedal, very muscular, and fast, lightning fast. It all happened in just a few seconds. I couldn't describe any features, unfortunately. I'm assuming it was either a new moon or cloudy because it was very dark, but they were definitely a dark color. Maybe a chocolate brown or a black color. I pressed him for any more details. After all, there have been Bigfoot sightings in Ohio. They say that Bigfoot has long arms that swing when it runs, and it runs like a human. Whatever these were, they weren't Bigfoot. I can't describe how they moved, but they didn't move like a person. Less than a month later, Andrew was heading home on Johnson Road. As he passed a moonlit cornfield, something ran in front of his car. The fields had grown full corn stalks, but I don't know exactly heights. Only the corn stalks were taller than me by the head, and I'm 6 feet tall. This time, my sighting of two creatures was a quick flash because there was no open land to it. They basically leapt the road as they broke the corn and landed about 10 to 15 feet into the field on the other side and kept running. This time, the pair that I saw in the moonlight, the first was black, the second was black with white or silver on its chest and back. Since the first three I saw were all a solid color, that means there must have been at least 4 different creatures. On October 11th, 2014, I set out with Andrew and his wife to see what we could find in the way of evidence that whatever he saw might still be around. The location of the first sighting is bordered to the south by Silver Creek Metro Park. On the other side of the road, there are 3 or 4 houses with large fields behind them. As Andrew pointed out, the creatures passed through a field and past the houses on the night he saw them, meaning these creatures must not have much fear of being near human habitation. The second sighting was on a slight hill between 2 large fields in a rather remote area. Not only were both places quite close to each other, they were both in close proximity to Silver Creek. We had planned an investigation of Silver Creek Metro Park, arriving at dusk, but the reservoir lake and surrounding park was alive with bonfires and hundreds of people celebrating the second annual fall family outing, making any chance of searching for a Dogman too difficult. A follow-up trip is still slated for hopefully this winter. Other witnesses may exist, but their reluctance to go public is understandable. If you saw a large dark creature running on 2 feet, you also might think people would call you crazy. But there is an earlier account worth mentioning here, which may give more credence to these sightings. In Linda Godfrey's book, Real Wolf Men, there's a 2010 story titled The Persistent Chicken Thief, about a family put in contact with Godfrey after several incidences on their farm. Their son Drew was one witness to a large, dark creature over 6 feet tall lurking in the tree line in March. The lone rooster began to squawk and the creature let out a fierce growl. Then all went silent. Drew heard what sounded like something jumping back over the fence, and the rooster squealed as if in pain. At that point, Drew grabbed a gun and a flashlight and ran outside, searching the fence from the front porch with his light. He saw the rooster, but it appeared to have something dark over its middle. It slowly dawned on Drew that that something dark was the muzzle of a creature with 2 glaring eyes. "Whatever it was," he said, "it seemed to look right through me. It turned my blood cold, and I was paralyzed with fear. I'm a hunter. I'm used to being in the wilderness and encountering bigger animals. Those animals don't scare me like this thing did. When I encountered this thing the first time, I got the feeling that it wanted to hurt me. After researching something I've never believed in, I'm convinced that this is a Dogman." Loud howls and the sound of something walking on 2 legs in the gravel driveway plagued the family for many months. The family kept a detailed diary of their strange events, but unfortunately Godfrey has since lost contact with them. While the exact location of the farm is not known, it's in the vicinity of Norton, Ohio. In May 2010, Kristen Miller of Wadsworth reported seeing a large cat with a long tail, resembling a mountain lion, at dusk in Silver Creek Metro Park, and reported it to park officials. There have also been reports of black bear in the area, though neither of these creatures can run on 2 feet, nor do they come close to being 6 or 7 feet tall. Silver Creek is a tributary from the aptly named Wolf Creek. Long ago, timber wolves were common across Ohio. Though, as farming developed, early settlers, these furry canines became less accepted, part of the wildness, and more of a nuisance as the animals hunted and killed many sheep. Thousands of Ohio wolves were hunted, trapped, and poisoned in an effort to eradicate them from the area. 1842 marked the final killing of a wolf in Ohio and the end of the wolf's presence here. While wolves have been driven from Ohio, perhaps something far more frightening has replaced them. The mystery of Silver Creek Wolfman, or Dogman, is far from solved.